Hey everyone, Evan here. This video is a breakdown of a prototype I built while teaching myself the Starcraft 2 editor. It's an attempt to translate the basic mechanics of Katamari Damacy into a Starcraft 2 mod. So I'm going to show you what exactly that means. So I've got this horde of Zerglings here, and you notice as they're killing more things, the horde's getting bigger. Every single unit you kill with one of your Zerg units will produce a set amount of Zerglings depending on how much supply that unit took up. So you notice this fire bat's going to spawn a few more than just the Marine. But more importantly than just getting a lot of Zerglings, once you get enough minerals like we have here, you'll start unlocking different morph abilities. These morph abilities allow you to sacrifice a set amount of your Zerglings to produce a new unit. So if we wander over here, we can start sacrificing our Zerglings in a very gruesome fashion to produce Hydralisks. Now these Hydralisks will eat through the army units that were giving us trouble before, like the fire bats, or these stalkers and zealots. And this transformation is reversible, so I can take this Hydralisk here and turn it to Zerglings that will just bum rush the enemy army. We gotta pull back, we've got some Archons coming in from the flank. And again, we'll just select our Zerglings. Thankfully, I was able to change the controls so that each of the number keys will select a particular strain of Zerg. So one will be Zergling, two will be Hydralisks, and so on. So now, with that Archon out of the way, we have just enough to start mutamorphing. So a Mutalisk will take either 8 Zerglings or 2 Hydralisks to give us, you guessed it, a Mutalisk, like so. Now these Zealots have no defense against us. So we'll take our variable strain army and start advancing. And again, every single one of these Zealots we kill will produce more and more Zerglings, so it creates this sort of momentum playstyle where we just keep getting more and more units to play with as long as we had enough to start with. So right now we need to deal with this anti-air, because these Colossi are completely vulnerable to our Mutalisk composition. And with this, we should be able to clear out the rest of the camp really simply. So, like the Hydralisks, the Mutalisks are also able to morph back, either to Zerglings or to Hydralisks, with just a click of a button. Alright, let's keep moving. Spawn all into Zergling. And let's start wandering the map. So if we look over here, we have this large encampment of siege tanks. This would basically be suicide to rush up with just a pure Zergling army, but thanks to the mechanics of this map, we can just transition all of them into Mutalisks and fly over like it's nothing. Take out their easy anti-air, and just call it a day. If we were to bum rush this at any point before, we probably would have lost instantly. As I can demonstrate that these Zerglings are going to join the fight. Total annihilation. So, the gameplay of this Katamarilisk game mod is around not only maintaining a large enough unit count with good micro, but also knowing what unit to quickly switch to in order to counter the composition of what you're fighting against. For example, we're getting ambushed by a bunch of Stalkers, and we need to transition our Mutalisks quickly into Zerglings to do anything. But, thankfully, we've also unlocked the ability to morph into Ultralisks for a whopping 26 Zerglings. So now these Ultralisks are just going to completely chew through the Stalker army like they're nothing. And leave us with a good surplus of Zerglings. And with our large Ultralisky army, let's move on to the final encounter. So as mentioned before, we can just micro specific units turn them back into whatever base form we want or are willing to try and transition into. So we can pop out, get another Ultralisk, turn this Ultralisk into Mutalisks, turn the Mutalisks into Hydralisks, and so on. And usually the scale of the battles prevents any real ease of exploitation. It's very difficult to micro a single unit into a position where you really feel like you're gaining something from cycling them permanently, or at least in the scales I'm intending on building. If it becomes a problem, it won't be any kind of issue to actually build around this flaw, though. Now that all we have to do with battle cruisers is take all our Zerglings and turn them into Hydralisks, and we should be able to win here. Alright, and that's it. So, this was obviously a prototype level. I'm probably going to start expanding out on this, producing a few more robust maps and really giving it a better sense of momentum and progression rather than just this single line. But either way, I really liked how this turned out. I'm actually really starting to dig the Starcraft editor, despite its eccentricities. But either way, guys, the map will be in the description and also be linked in the website panel that you probably have this video in. Alright, see you later.